So it's fine to sit in Virasana, and I will say for this particular sequence, it might be wise to sit in Virasana only because you can feel the compacting of the hips more. And part of the theme today is compacting the hips. But if you already have sat in Swastikasana, then fine. That's good, Carla. And of course, you can sit on a block in Virasana. Spread the feet. Put the hands on the roots of the thighs so that you can really feel the descension into the earth. And feel the inherent compacting of the hips in Virasana, which in this pose, it's not. You know, you can feel the compacting of the hips, but it's not inherent in the geometry is what I mean. Of course, we make it compact by adding the block to it, the bell rather. So sit and know that you're sitting. And just give yourself this time to anchor and to ground the body. And oftentimes you can sense that, or it's nice to have the image of flushing out the brain, emptying it of thoughts and judging and planning and remembering, just flush it out. And oftentimes I do this myself. I just take my hand and I sense this flushing action. And sense that your brain is moving down to the seat, be it the buttock bones or the shins pressing or the tops of the feet pressing. See if this flushing action of the brain to the touchstones of the pose, that part of the pose that connects with the earth, helps you to become more still and helps with the proliferation of thought. Sitting upright, enlivening, elating, evolving your pose. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, just simply be here now. If it's helpful, you can mentally note the breath within and out. That mental note helps support the awareness of the in and the out breath. And remember, this is not a practice about breathing. It's about a practice of awareness. And if being with the breath, mentally noting the breath is not helpful, just see if you can feel the touchstones of the pose, the buttock bones into the bolster or block if you're sitting in Virasana. And again, sense that downward action, that flushing out sensation of the brain to the heart, to the buttocks. And if you were sitting in a chair, it would be actually to the soles of the feet. And then find out in letting your brain descend down, have you let the chest drop? Still keep the elation, the enlivening of the ribs, the side walls of the chest. And then if you'd like to, you can bring the palms, fold them in front of the chest, and simply repeat, may I be a boat, a raft, a bridge for all beings to cross the flood. May I be a resting place for the weary. May I be medicine for all who are sick. May I be a lamp in the darkness for those who are lost. May I do so as long as earth and sky and galaxies exist. Until all beings are enlightened, I vow to be here to serve them all. And then when you're ready, your hands in front of the chest, simply let them release, lift your head, and allow your eyes to open. So welcome everyone. Andrew, nice to see you. It's funny, I had thought today, I don't know why, I just thought that today might be the day that you would be here. So let's do this. Before we, Carla, this might help, and I sent you the message that working with, so I just want to distinguish something. So these are the frontal groins here, which are often tight. You know, we do lots of things, you know, this being one of them, to open the frontal groins. When I call the inner groins, that's more here, and I alluded to this last week. when we did Supta 3, and if anyone had any groin pain, I made you use a belt, right? So that's a little bit different. So these are the frontal groins, commonly known as the hip flexors, the psoas, the deep psoas muscle that resides there, in which case poses like this are particularly helpful. And for most people, they have to stretch the psoas a lot, you know, if not every day, at least every other day. Poses like Supta Virasana, which gets a little bit more to the quads than the hip flexors, but basically this one, Utthita Baddhasana, is a good one to do regularly. So the other one, which we're all going to do now, is the one that's very simple. We did it last week. I call it quasi Jethra because it looks like Jethra, but it's not. We will do Jethra down the road. It's just simply this one. And then after this, we'll do a few times. So transition yourself to then Supta Baddha Konasana with the feet on the block. So this is just to relax the back. We're doing abdominal work today. Release and spread the abdomen. So first the hip flexor work side to side, and then feet on the bolster. If you don't have a bolster, just put it on 2 blankets. Yeah, Tony, that's it. Have the feet apart. So this is getting into the frontal groins. The knees need not touch. Yeah, it's not about, you know, how far to take the knees over. So as you go to the right, feet are hip width apart, you're opening the left frontal groin, and then vice versa. It's a really good one to do. Make sure the feet are apart because I want the spreading in the lower back. Okay. So do that for, you know, maybe 20 rounds, so 10 on each side, alternating the sides. And then you'll relax on your back with the feet in Baddha Konasana, but elevated, because that will provide spreading in your lower spine. You can put your hand on your abdomen to feel how, and this is the theme of the class, the front body moves to the back body. So the abdomen is like it's a sandwich, right? The abdomen is sandwiched between the front and the back. You're not aiming to get the curve of the lower spine flat. It's more the abdomen draws back, and you can feel that with your hand on your navel band, and then extend the arms out to the side to decentralize your arms so that you can relax comfortably. Yeah, have the feet on the bolster or a block or 2 blankets. This will help you, especially for those of you who tend to dig in the lower spine, which not many of you here do. So again, there's a fine line between feeling the abdomen move back and pressing the sides of the waist into the floor. We're not quite doing that. Your abdomen should feel like it's contained or sandwiched in between the front and the back, and we'll explore that kind of sandwich, taking it to kind of metaphorically a more flattened sandwich like a panini. So that's the work that we're doing today. You'll feel that as we go through the poses, how the abdomen will feel more compressed, and compressed, you know, may have a negative connotation. So think of it maybe compacting or becoming thinner, something like that. Whatever image comes up for you that's appropriate and that helps you feel the pose from the back, from the front to the back. Enjoy the arms out to the side. Feel the right lung moving a little more to the right, the left a little more to the left. So you're really opening and spreading not only the abdomen, but the chest. Keep the trapezius moving down toward the waist. Elongate the sides of the neck. Relax the throat, the eyes, the jaws. Just enjoy this time in Supta Baddha Konasana. This is a wonderful pose for anyone who has, at any point in the day or in the week, that you're having tightness in your lower back or a sense of soreness in your lower back. Tony, this should feel good on your back. Remember to turn the skin of the upper arm inside out. So your armpit chest is open. Good. Now, when you're ready, just simply take the feet on the support, roll, you then take them off, roll to one side, it doesn't matter which. And then before we do child's pose and Adho Mukha Svanasana down dog, I want you to take a blanket. So unfold it if you have it in the storage fold, and then simply roll it. So it's a fairly tight roll, and then watch. So I'm basically going to lie back. We're going to use this to relax, not to relax, I should say. Yeah, to relax the back, but it's to really feel your spine. So I'm placing my buttocks on the blanket, and I do this with the legs bent. Then I recline backward, and then extend one leg, and then the other. Okay, so you start with bent because you can feel a little tipsy. So this is to feel the spine, alerting the spine, making the spine like a live wire. Make sure you're not digging in your lower spine. If you are with straight legs, then go back to bent legs. So now you're on the central vertebral column known as the spine. Tailbone is on the blanket. If you don't want to extend your legs, that's fine. So make sure, again, you're not overarching in the back, and do have the feet apart. You can have the feet to the outer edges of the mat too, if that's helpful. And then again, the arms decentralized. Now feel what the blanket there, because it's just on a small area, your vertebral column, feel how the spine is being kicked in. Could you overdo that action? Yes. People who tend to push their abdomen forward, meaning in this case up to the ceiling, be mindful, go back to using your hand at your navel band. But I want you to have the memory of the spine, because when we come to do down dog, I want you to alert the spine, and Elaine, you can just do the concave prasarita. We're not spending a lot of time on down dog today. We'll go back to it toward the end. And then Elaine, when we do down dog and one-legged down dog, you can do Virabhadrasana 3 with blocks, but we haven't gotten there. That's toward the end. Okay, be aware of your spine. Sense your spine is being kicked in. So it lives, it resides between the front and the back, just like the abdomen does. Okay. Now, simply roll to the other side that you didn't roll to when you were in Supta Baddha Konasana, just to even out the sides. And take child's pose and be aware of the, so I'm going to show this from behind. If anyone has any knee issues, sit on a chair and extend their hands to the wall. So in child's pose, I want you to be aware now of spreading the low back. Right? Don't, in order to spread the legs, though, don't take the knees too far apart. So not so much here. You're resting your chest on your thighs. So the thighs are about 2 inches apart. So the abdomen can spread, the lower back can spread. If the buttocks don't come to the heels, put the support of the bolsters underneath the forearms. If all that fails, simply sit in a chair and extend the arms toward a wall. Now, on this child's pose, spread your low back. So the lower spine, again, doesn't have that digging in quality. All right, now come into an all-four position. If you have tight shoulders, tight armpits, place your hands at a wall or use the blocks, and you all know this, and up you come. If you feel your hamstrings are tight, do the work that we've done since I've been back. Take the feet to the outer edges of the mat. If you have tight shoulders, tight hamstrings, go wider. We're not staying longer. Now have the memory, actually everyone lift, come up on the balls of the feet, get the buttocks higher and higher. Now slowly begin to take the roots of the thighs back as you lengthen the feet from the arch to the heel. Get the heels down, get the heels down. That's it, girl. Get the heels down. Now, especially for those of you who have a tighter upper back. Kick the dorsal spine in. Have the memory of that blanket. Just imagine the blanket's still there, taking your arms wider apart. If you feel like your shoulder blades are hunching up, and I spoke to this Friday, we were talking about with Tony, I use that image of a block there. Kick the dorsal spine in. Have the memory. That's why we do things in a different way. We want the body to have the memory of that blanket still being there. Okay, now walk your hands back to your feet. Take a wide Uttanasana. Go down. Release the waist, side ribs, and head down. Don't let the butt in going down. You can have the feet apart. Don't let the buttocks go back, which is tricky. You can also, good, Gail. That's good. You're not letting the buttocks drift behind the heels. So it's like you should feel like it's as though you're about to topple. That's it, Andrea. Like topple forward. Topple forward. Allow yourself to topple forward. Mary Beth, that's fine. If you take your hands to your back of your calf, that might help you not topple forward. You could feel the resistance. Okay, now inhale, up you come. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to take apart Supta Parivrishtasana 1 in 2 steps. So watch. We did it with the traction belt, those of you with me last week. On Friday and Tuesday. We also did it the week before. So I'll show you on my left side. You're going to do your right side. I like to do it always at the wall, but for this purpose, I'm not doing it at the wall. So you're going to start at 90. And as I said last week, when you start at 90, you can easily get the hips balanced side to side. And the left, well, in this case, my left side is no shorter than my right. And then we're going to do this. We're just going to get the first Supta 1 is at 90 degrees. First at 90. And then we'll do it a second time when the leg goes beyond 90. And then you feel, again, that abdomen folding back onto itself. All right, so this will be easy for most of you. You can be at the wall or not. All right, just take the right knee into the chest, which is called a Kunchanasana or Ekapada Padamuktasana. This should feel really good. Yeah. See if you can merge the thigh with the chest. So if your thigh is touching the chest, you can easily feel, right? The abdomen is out of its own way, right? If your thigh is touching your chest, the abdomen has deflated back. That's what you would say, inherent in Ekapada Padamuktasana is the action of the abdomen folding back onto itself. Now stretch the leg up to 90 degrees, just 90. Some of you are more flexible in your hamstrings, will go beyond 90, but just 90. Now remember the metrics of this pose. The hips are balanced side to side. Now look at your right knee and trace a line from your out, so the leg is straight. Draw a line like I'll do it here. You can turn your head sideways if you need to. So draw a line from your right outer knee to your outer hip. Feel the skin drawing back, which makes the hips compact. So there's almost that again, you get that indentation in the corner of your outer right hip. But don't move the leg beyond 90. Stay with 90. When you see if you can pull the toes down, lift the heel up so that the back of it, we don't want the leg to have any hills and valleys. That leg is straight. We did all those leg stretches last week. Good, Gail. All right, change sides of Kunchanasana, left side, knee in, merge the thigh with the chest. The abdomen has to move back in order to do that. It's inherent. You know what I mean inherent? It's like the geometry, it's not making something happen, it's inherent. In order for the abdomen, in order for the thigh to merge with the chest, the abdomen has to move back. Reach through the heel, then put the belt on at the head of the heel or the arch of the foot, leg only at 90, balance the hips side to side. Then again, look at your outer left knee as you saw me do, trace that line from that outer left, that's it, Mary Beth, yes. And additionally on this side, not only trace it back, but since the outer left hip is moving back, that will come more into place when you do beyond 90. So that the left side or right side doesn't shorten. Okay, these look good. Winnie, this is good on this left side. All right, now take Dvipada, both knees into the chest for symmetry. it's important, and I said this last week, if you're doing a lot of asymmetrical poses, especially as you get older, you should balance them with symmetrical poses in the sequence. All right, now keep the right knee in, extend the left, start at 90. Go back to where we've been. Establish the metrics of Supta Padangusthasana, one leg at 90, all that we addressed. All right, now begin to move the leg. Go beyond 90. Now see what happens. Now it becomes an abdominal pose. So remember I alluded to here's the abdomen like a sandwich, but now it's become more like that panini, right? You can feel it's almost like squishing down. I'm just using my own words. You can use your own words to describe the abdomen folding back onto itself. These are some of the words that, actions that I've heard various teachers say over the many years. Keep the legs straight. Find out, remember, keep drawing the skin back from the knee to the hip. That outer right hip has to move back away from the right side of the chest. Don't let the right side shorten. That's what it typically wants to do. We worked with the traction belt last week. And of course, you know, it's impossible for me to tell if your right side isn't facing me. It's very hard to tell even on the screen unless I can really see the hip moving up. Okay, change sides. Go back to Kunchanasana, left side. Draw it in, merge the leg with the chest. See how the abdomen moves back. Take the leg to 90. Establish the metrics. Even Steven, left to right, and now move the leg beyond 90 and see how it becomes more abdominal. The abdomen is engaged. You know, we have the 6 abdominal muscles. Unlikely that you'd be able to distinguish among the 6 in this, although you might feel the lower abdominal muscles in this pose, the transversus, a little bit more than actually the obliques. Okay, stay with it. Make sure that you're tracing that line from the left knee to the hip. Left hip should not move out nor lift up. It neither moves out nor lifts up. Okay, now take Dvipada. All right, now I'm going to show this. So again, when I generally teach a sequence, there's a focus or a theme. We're doing obviously the same poses, many poses that we've done many, many times, but with a different awareness. So this is the outer knee to the outer hip awareness. So watch. Let me see what's the best vantage. Okay. So I'm going to do Supta Padangusthasana 2. I'm going to decentralize the left leg. Now, when I take the right leg out, I want to focus on that skin from the outer right knee. I need to hold it with my right hand. So you're focusing on that skin right where these running icon stripes are. Focus on the skin moving back from the knee to the hip, and you'll get this pinning in, compacting at the corner of the right hip. That's what I want you to focus on today in Supta 2. It's a very healthy action for the hips. All right, can do at wall. Now I didn't have the access to my left arm, but I do want the left arm out to the side with the palm flat because that will help you the next round as well. All right, so go to 90, hold with right hand. If you need to use your left hand, trace that line, just trace it in your mind's eye with your eyes from the knee. So draw the skin back from the right knee to the hip. So you'll get that indentation from the get-go at the corner of the right hip. With that awareness, take your finest Supta Padangusthasana 2. Now turn the belly from the right to the left. Turn, 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 right to left. Your chest should be facing the ceiling. You're on the median line of the chest. Extend through the left arm so you're not toppling over into that right side. Feel yourself divided in 2 and the right side not being heavier, weighted down than the left. If it feels heavier the right side, then raise the right leg higher up toward the ceiling, not higher to the shoulder necessarily, but foot to the shoulder. Yes, that is the final pose. but you should feel even across the floor. Okay, now take the leg up. All right, and then left knee in, a Kunshanasana. Back to 90. Wait there. Hold the belt with the left hand. Extend the right arm out. Right arm out. Okay, now, again, trace the line from the get-go, from the outer left knee to the hip. Feel that compacting in at the corner of the left hip. And then take the leg out as you simultaneously reach through your inner right arm and feel an evenness in your body. Good, Gail. Chest, if you were standing on your right foot, you were facing the screen, as we did 2 weeks ago, the center line of your being, Carla demonstrated at her blue wall, you'd be evenly divided. That's the feeling. The compacting of the hips has to be there. And today I'm teaching it that way. The other way to get it on some level to feel it is often when the foot is at the wall, in this case, the left foot. Mary Beth, see if you can see the heel of the left foot is slightly higher than the toes. Yeah, keep the foot running parallel. Imagine you were doing Parsvahasta Padangusthasana, the pose that we did 2 weeks ago, on standing now on your right leg. Okay, and now take the leg up. Now, I want to do it one more time, and I know this time we focused on that skin and the compacting of the hips, but now I want you to get more turning power. So I think I'll show you from this angle. Watch. So I'm taking the right leg out to the side, but so now I'm putting my left hand at my navel band, and I'm really turning. Not this. Don't go with the right leg. The left leg should remain on the floor. So as I take the right leg out and extending the left arm with palm down or holding the bottom rung of a chair is really ideal. So stay with the left side of your body. Even though you're taking the leg to the right, stay. Imagine you're gluing the left side of your body to the floor. So I want you to really turn. So get the action from the get-go. Let's see. I'm going to move up to the screen and watch this. Hold on. Okay, so taking the left arm out to the side. All right, so make it an as you take the right leg out, put your left hand, swipe the abdomen from the right. I really want you to feel the turning power. So again, the abdomen moving back, the abdomen becoming a little bit more compressed, although you may not like the word compressed, maybe flatter might be better, but without losing the lower spine. That lumbar spine is neither overarching nor flattening into the floor. Now take the leg up, well done, and change sides. Focus on the turning, in this case from the left to the right. So it's helpful to be with the right hand pressing down, glue the right side of your body. Now, make it an as you. So often, if you think about it, the first time I taught it, I had you take out the leg, then you turn. This time I'm having you take the turn from the left to the right as you simultaneously, or even before you take the left leg. See if that helps. So now I want you to feel the abdomen. Is it more flat? Is it more flat? The abdomen should, again, feel like it's think of like a sandwich, right? That's a sandwich, and then make it like a grilled cheese sandwich, like it's flattened out. I don't know why I'm thinking about these sandwiches, but it seems to help in my mind. Okay, now take the leg up. All right, now the final one that we go from that kind of like, okay, so if I think about the sandwich with white bread, fluffy white bread, and then it's being compressed down. So in soup to 3, it's almost flat. Okay, now it'd be like a flatbread. Okay, so watch, I want to show you this. So this one, Gail, this is the one on Friday you had the question about. So in this one, I'm taking the right leg up, which you will do. I hold it with the opposite hand. And then again, I'm using my right hand, really swipe it. So this is when you cross the right leg over the left. Carla, hopefully there'll be no groin pain. You can use your strap. I'm not focusing on that today. I did last Friday, as you know. So now as the right leg crosses to the left, there's really that flattening out. This left arm should be straight. There's really this flattening out of the abdomen from the left to the right, okay? Right hip will lift up a little bit. It has to. So again, we're doing the pose focusing on the abdomen today. All right, so I hope this is clear. And if it's not clear, stay after class by all means, or unmute yourself, ask me a question. All right, so see now we're making flat sandwiches. Swipe the abdomen from the left to the right, cross the right leg to the left, right hip will lift up a little bit, left arm is straight, good Mary Beth, turn that arm, left arm inner to outer, turn, turn, turn. See how this is an abdominal pose. This is more transverse, this is more oblique muscles as well as transverse. Okay, these look good, change sides, well done. I'm glad to see no one has took their right leg to the floor. Okay, so left leg comes out, you hold with right arm is straight. Now listen, I didn't say this, but many of you, Mary Beth and others can, if you can hold the foot, then by all means do, right? All right, if you can hold the side of the foot, then please do. All right, now you're extending out through your left arm, good Carla. Left hip will move a little bit. Now remember, it's your job to really turn the abdomen from the left to the right. See how flat you can get the abdomen. It really draws back. In Supta 3, you can really feel that compression. You can call it whatever word you want. And this is why we're doing this as all preparation for Jethra Parivatasan today. Okay, and then inhale up your column. All right, now I want to work on something a little more fundamental. So watch everyone. So let me just give you a little bit about the thought process behind how I prepared this lesson. So in thinking about one of the most important abdominal poses in our system, I don't know if I would say that Urdhva Prasarita Padasana is the most wonderful abdominal pose. It would be hard on the back. I would start with actually doing plank poses, but watch. So we're going to end up here in Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. And then we're going to do this 90, the 60, the 30, knees in, back up to 90. But that's very hard for a lot of people. So I want to back it up a little bit in time and have you do this. So watch. You'll need a wall. If you don't have a wall, Angie, you can just put your feet on the edge of a bed or something like that. Now watch very carefully. So I have it, it's like I'm doing a chair Utkatasana at the wall, where my thighs are parallel to the floor. Now they're parallel to the wall and my feet are hip width apart, all right? Now, when I have the feet at the wall, I'm going to press my feet into the wall, and you can feel inherent in that action will be the abdomen moving back. And then at some point, we're going to take one leg away from the wall, stretch it to 90 degrees, bring it back to the wall. Press the feet, engage the abdomen, take the other leg away, stretch it up. And then at some point, we'll obviously take right leg away, stretch it up, take left leg away, stretch it up, and we'll end up in UPP. All right, so this would be like a primer for someone who possibly couldn't sustain UPP for 2 minutes, which is what we ideally want. All right, be near a wall or have the feet against a surface, a draw. Nancy, you can use the chest of draw, a bed frame, even the edge of a chair. Anything will do. Feet are hip width apart. It's, yeah, if you show me in profile, Mary Beth, that's fine. So the legs are parallel, thighs are parallel to the wall. So you're forming a right angle, okay, or a square. Winnie, it looks like you're a little bit too far away from the wall, but it might be my camera, okay? So see if you can get the shins to be parallel to the ceiling. That's it, Mary Beth. Trace a line from the outer knee to the outer hip, as you've done all morning. Now press the feet into the wall and feel when you do that, how the abdomen draws back to the front of the spine. All right, now remove right foot away from wall and then stretch it to 90, Supta 1. That we did, good. Bend the right, bring it back to the wall, press the feet into the wall, trace a line. So the feet are on, both feet are on the wall. Trace a line from left knee to hip, abdomen moving back. Now stretch up the left leg, good. Bring it back to wall, and we'll repeat. Right knee in, foot again, foot away from the wall, right leg up. Now take the left leg away from the wall and stretch it up. So you're winding up at 90 degrees. Now both legs are straight. Okay, now put the left leg back on the wall, put the right leg back on the wall, and we'll just change the sides. Okay, keep the right, both feet pressing. Take the left leg away from the wall, left foot away from the wall, stretch the leg to 90, weight there. Abdomen moving back. Now remove the right foot from the wall, weight there, 90 degrees, so you're not beyond 90. That's first Supta Padangusthasana 1. Now both legs are off in the air. Feet can be together or apart. Okay, now take the knees into the chest. All right, now come away from the wall. Come away from the wall, or the support or the dressers. All right, and this is what you're going to do. You can have a belt nearby or a block. So we'll go back to Dvipada Padamuktasana or Kunchanasana. Stretch the legs to 90 degrees. And then trace the line again from the outer knee to the outer hip. And stretch the arms overhead. You can palm a brick. And we're going to hold it for a bit of time. If it's impossible to hold it, then go back to the wall and repeat one leg at a time, okay? All right, so here we go. Bend the knees into the chest, stretch the legs just to 90. If the legs start to bend, you can use the strap or put a block between the thighs, not so much the knees. You can hold the sides of the mat. It makes it easier to sustain the minute or so that we're staying good, Nancy. Otherwise, to make it more challenging, stretch the arms overhead. Keep feeling, imagine you had a third hand on your navel band, how the abdomen moves back. You're not flattening out your lower spine, but the abdomen, the organic part, the contents, is drawing back toward the floor. Okay, now that's good, Elaine. Now take the knees into the chest. All right, so I think everyone can move on to the next phase, in which we're going to use gravity. First, we work with gravity, and then we go against gravity. So let me just show you this. All right, so your legs go back to 90, and then with straight legs, abdomen moving back, I'm just putting my hand here. I go to about basically between the floor and 90. We'll call this, they call it 60. And then down, as I go down, the abdomen draws back to 30. Then take the knees in, it's easier on the back, and then we'll go to 90. So we're working with gravity. Much harder will be the next one. So the next one will look like this. We're bending the legs. You actually flex through the heels, push the legs out to 30, up to 60. We'll do this after so we're not doing this one now. And then 90, okay? First, we're going with gravity and then against gravity. All right, here we go. Legs up to 90. We're not doing too many. I want to broad stroke it today. We might do a different sequence on. Hold the sides of the mat, at least for the first one. And then if you find that the first one's easy, then take the arms overhead. That makes more sense. All right, now, abdomen moving back, lower the legs to 60, then to 30. Now take the knees in for the health of the lower back, go back to 90. All right, if it's challenging, remember, arms down by the side. If that was easy, yes, take the arms overhead. Remember, you can always go back to the wall and alternate legs. Down to 60, down to 30, legs are straight, abdomen moving back, knees in, up to 90. All right, up to 90, down to 60, down to 30. We're not really taking big pauses, knees in to the chest. If we took big pauses, it would be hard. Up to 90, down to 60, down to 30, knees in, Last one, up to 90, down to 60, exhale, down to 30, exhale, knees in, and wait there. Good. All right. So again, we're not holding long. If you can, take the arms overhead. So it's a progressive action. All right. So let me show you this one again. So this is harder. We're going against gravity. So I start with my legs bent, merging the legs with the chest. I push out. I'm really flexing. I harden through the heels. So I push out. Exhale to 30. Exhale to 60. Exhale to 90. If you find that you use the in-breath against gravity, that's fine too. All right. And then knees in, and we'll do 5 in that same way. All right. 5 that way. If you hold the pauses longer, it's going to be harder. Okay. Knees into chest. Push out through the heels to 30. And now up to 60. Up to 90. And knees in. Push out to 30. Up to 60. Good. Up to 90. And hold the sides of the mat. And knees into the chest. Push out for 30. 60, 90, and into the chest. Push out to 30, 60, 90. Okay, stay at 90, go down to 30, up to 60, down to 30, up to 90, down to 60, and into the chest. So that's how you can have some fun. All right, just rest there and do quasi-jetter back and forth. Go back to quasi-jetter or even Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together to relax your abdomen. Okay. Yeah, Tony, do Supta Baddha Konasana, it'll be easier on your abdomen. You want to give your abdomen a rest in between. All right, so now we're into Jethara. So Jethara, bent leg pose, again, more for the oblique muscles, but it has that quality of Supta Padangusthasana too. All right, so watch. We started this on Friday, so my legs are bent. And again, I want you to trace a line actually from both now, outer knees to outer hips. You get those hips compact, and then swing the legs to the right. But in swinging the legs to the right, don't let this right knee fall out, right? So I have to get that suctioning in of the right corner of the hip as I take the legs to the left. Now, remember, additionally, you have to stay on the median line of the chest. So for many people, they have to shift the weight a little bit to the left, as I just did. Again, so maybe this is a better viewing angle. I trace the line from both knees to the hips, and then extending my arms out to the side, I swing the legs to the right. It might be helpful for you to hold the mat this way. Watch. I find this really helpful. So I put my head on the floor and I'm holding, I align my shoulders with the edge of the mat. I'll shift a little bit to the left and swing the legs to the right. This is really helpful to hold and grasp the mat with fists. Okay. All right. So with that said, yeah, that's good, Mary Beth, that you're having your feet side to the camera. All right, now, I will say always the perennial question is to shift or not to shift. Most people, in order to stay on the median line of the chest, have to shift a little bit to the left as they swing the legs to the right. Remember, especially on the right side, draw the skin back, all that work we've done. The knees are off the floor, the feet are off the floor, they hover. Come back to center, it's against gravity. Now shift a little bit to the right as you swing the legs to the left. Find the median line of your spine, feeling that skin, especially on the left side. Don't let the leg splay out too much. Good, now come back to center and repeat. So when you come back to center with bent legs. All right, so shift a little bit to the left, swing to the right. So remember, your thighs are not lower than 90 degrees to the chest. Come back to center and now shift to the right, swing the legs to the left, keep turning the abdomen from the left to the right, come back to center. All right, so now as we did on Friday, you're going to do the same thing. So you can see my feet on the screen. I'm shifting a little bit to the left, and now I'm going to swing the legs to the right and then harden through the heels so that my legs go from bent to straight and the right feet are in line with my right hand. All right, let's try bent to straight. We're not staying long. All right, so again, stay on the median line, shift to the left, swing with bent legs to the right, turn the abdomen from the right to the left, and then aim high. Aim the straight legs so that they hover the right palm. Now bend, come back to center, good. Shift right, swing left, turn belly left to right, harden through the heels, straighten the legs. Don't let the legs, Tony is spending, don't let the legs go lower than 90 degrees. That's hard on the back. It's hard on the back. Now bend the knees into the chest. So if you feel it, now people will often say, I feel it in my quads, I feel it in my hip flexors. The place that you really want to feel this pose is in your abdomen, not so much the hip flexors. So this is what I don't want to see, and this is what I have to be really careful, is if you take the legs like you just did, and they come lower than, you see how they're lower than my chest, this gets super hard on your back. So I'm aiming to make the legs, if you were to take a picture from yourself from an aerial view, you should be in a V structure, not a structure like that. Is that clear, everyone? Because otherwise it takes you will feel it in your low back as I felt it. So I'm going to show you, this is what it's not again. All right, so I'm going from bend to straight, but look, as I harden through the heels, see how much lower my legs are than my hip crease? No, I want to get the height of the, see, the knees are much higher than the hips. And then I power through my heels. So now from this view, I'm a V, not some L, all right? All right, can we do the left side? All right, so I think, or do we do it? I forget. Well, either way, either go back if we just did the right side, or maybe we're just back on the right side. All right, shift to the left. All right, just you know where you are. Go and go. Yes, Mary Beth, that's good. Tony, make sure those legs are going higher and higher. You're aiming to get the feet in the palm of your hand. Okay, these look good. All right, come back to center. Now we'll go for the final, straight to straight. So this is a great pose to do for, again, your oblique muscle. So you know it's coming. You go from straight to straight. So let's show from this side. So I'm starting at 90. I'm going to shift a little bit to my right. You'll start with your shifting to the left to go to your right. And then here's my left palm. And I'm sensing the feet are going to hover. I'm aiming my feet, still staying on my median line. So that means I really have to activate through my right arm, all right? So everything you've learned thus far really has to happen now. The resistance from, in your case, the right to the left. As you go to the right, really work your left arm. Now, it might behoove many of you, look, to take a chair, especially if you're new to the pose or if your core is weak in any way, and see how I'm holding the rung of the chair. So when after I shift, I'm really hugging that chair rung so I don't topple over to my right. So if you have a chair, many of you do nearby, use it to extend and hold on the bottom rungs of the chair. Okay, we'll do at least two. Here we go. To the right, shift to the left. Aim high, aim well, aim those legs higher than the hips. Inhale, lift. Don't go back to straight because bend, sorry. All right, and now to the left. So you're on the other side, shifting to the right. Try to keep the head in the middle. It's hard on the neck if you turn the head. Keep the chest facing the middle and repeat to the right. Aim high, aim well. Keep drawing back. You'll find that the two legs are not even. Stephen, draw the skin back. All those actions, especially of the bottom leg. Suck it back, suck it back, suck it back, suck it back. Of the bottom leg, Mary Beth. Yes, suck it back, that skin. It's hard to even out the feet in Jethro. Okay, and then everybody take Supta Baddha Konasana, flat back to relax your abdomen and your lower spine. Okay. So, how many of you would take this on like once a week to do any of these poses for your abdomen? Yeah, I mean, that's good. I will say that there are poses. Okay, so I'm just going to take a bit of a detour here, just a smidge. So, and we were actually going to get to some of it later on. So one of the most helpful poses to do for your abdomen is a simple plank. Also good for your arm strength, where the abdomen is again sandwiched back from the front to the back. In some ways, just do it, just a simple plank. You can show me from the side. Make sure you're not digging your lower spine. We're not staying long. If you have wrist issues, I'll give you something else. All right. Have your hands underneath the shoulders. Okay, these look good. Just one quick plank. So for many people going through the years teaching core work, they find this easier. Yes, go back to dog. Elaine, you can stay in plank. All right, go back to dog. Okay, now come down, everyone. And let me show you what we're going to do. So have a set of blocks. You might need it. I'll give you some options here. So we are going to come back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. We haven't done this in a long time, not dog, but Ekapada. We're going to bring my feet together, and then the abdomen clearly in dog pose is engaged. It's lifting away from the floor. It has to be, otherwise you'd be like a hammock like this. All right, so watch. I'm going to raise my right leg from the root of the right thigh. Take it down. Elaine, you can do Virabhadrasana 3 with blocks. Lift the left leg from the root of the thigh. Okay, then I'm going to have you take 2 blocks after we do one-legged dog pose and watch. We're going to come back to dog pose with the hands on the medium size of the bricks. And then just like we've done all morning, merging the thigh with the chest, take the knee into the chest, right side. Take the knee into the chest, left side. Okay, then you're going to take the right leg all the way up. And I'm aiming to get my right foot hovering between the 2 blocks. You've changed your mind. You're not going to put it down on the floor and then you go back. Can you all see that, or should I show you from this way? All right, so watch again. This is not so easy. It would be harder without the blocks. We might get there today. All right, so watch again. So it's like, oh, I'm about to bring my right foot to the floor, butt knot, and I go back. Left knee in, left leg up between the bricks, and then go back. All right, so we're basically doing, which is much harder because of gravity, we're doing this pose, weight bear, and against gravity. All right, let's try it. So first we'll do dog pose. You can do Virabhadrasana 3, Elaine. All right, dog pose first. All right, now lift the root of the right leg up, straight up. Yeah, don't even bend it. You can just lift it straight up and descend, good. In making this asymmetrical, as you take the left leg up, don't list to the right side. That's the tendency, nor let the right hip move out. All that work now takes place. Descend. All right, let me see it again one more time. Lift the root of the right thigh up, but don't let the weight shift, right? The shoulder blades are moving away from the wall that you're facing. Descend the right leg, lift the left leg up, keep the side ribs even. Don't let the right hip move out or up, and then descend and just take child's pose. Okay, rest there. Elaine, you can do the lunge position. All right, now take 2 blocks. I want everyone to take the 2 blocks because we'll try it without the blocks. All right, you can hook your thumb around, which you saw me do. It makes it a little bit easier. Have the blocks on the medium side. I will say that here, the wood of the cork work better than the sponge. I see some of you have the sponge and, you know, it just feels a little bit less sturdy. And then also the foam varies in its material as well. There's dense foam and soft foam. So I don't know what you have. Okay, go back to dog pose. All right, now lean, don't come into dog pose. Just take the right knee into the chest. Merge the leg, yes. Merge, yes. Now go back. So we're not taking it all the way. Just take the left knee in, left knee in, left knee in. Touch your leg, left leg with the chest, just like I showed, and go back. Repeat, right knee in, merge the chest. No, bring the right knee in, and then bring it back to the floor. Not up. Yeah, left knee in, and left leg back. All right, now begin to take your right foot so it's between the two blocks, but don't bring it to the floor. Hover, hover. No, the foot has to be off the floor. Hover, 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 hover. Good, Gail, and go back. This is when the blocks come in handy. Now take the left knee in. Now bring the left foot, but don't let the left foot touch. Good, Mary Beth, and go down. All right, now just rest. Everybody rest. So this is, I haven't taught this in some time. Now this is where we'll take a departure. Those of you who are able to bring the foot between the blocks, Mary Beth, let's abandon the blocks or take the blocks to the lowest side. If you found it easy, perhaps going to the lowest side. Yeah. All right. So that means this side. It will be hard. Watch. This is not easy. All right. So now the blocks went from this position where I hooked the thumbs to this position flat. Eventually, what we want to do is the pose without the blocks, which is not very easy. So now I go back to dog pose, watch. And now if you need to get a little momentum, now I'll let you lift the leg up because that will help you get a little momentum of the leg coming up but not to the floor and then going back, all right? So try it in that manner. If it's helpful for you, if it's not, just take the knee into the chest. You tell me. Yes, hover the foot, hover, 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 and then take it back. And then left knee in, you can take it up, get momentum if that's helpful, and then aim the foot well. Aim the foot, yeah, have the foot come between the two blocks. Okay, now rest. If that was easy, then just try no blocks. All right, if that was easy. All right, you can try it. All right, Mary Beth, since you're trying it, I'm going to spotlight you and see how you do with this. So hold on, everyone. You can take a nice rest because I'm sure you'll want it.
I just want to point out, I didn't find it easy on that flat one, but I'm just trying.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Okay, this is live reality. All right, here we go. Hold on, Mary Beth. I need to spotlight you, my friend. I just want to see you do this. Okay, so now she decides she's just going to try it without the blocks. All right, so what I would say is get momentum. Yes, and then swing the leg, hover, 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 hover. Yeah, oh no, hover, hover, hover. Do it again, swing. Yeah, so we want the foot to be off the floor. So this is rather challenging. Okay, now Mary Beth, go back to the blocks on the low side. Take the blocks on the low side, which we were all doing. All right, let's just see the difference. So she's raised her arms, which makes it easier to get the lifting of the abdomen up. All right, let me see. All right, now get momentum, which I think is helpful. I was practicing with this yesterday. Yes, see how much easier it is with the blocks, and then go back. All right, let me see the other side. We can't leave that guy out. Swing. Oh, yes, one side will be different than the other. Watch the knee, don't let it roll out. Okay, so you got to get that compacting as well. Now, what does this prepare you to do? Prepares you for jumpings. Come down, Mary Beth, thank you, and rest. So let's do this. Those of you want to try as Mary Beth did without blocks, be my guest, just have fun. If you can't get the foot between the blocks, doesn't matter. Then take the blocks on the low or medium side. But we're aiming the foot between the blocks. Thanks, Mary Beth. I'll take you off spotlight. Okay, let me see everybody. All right, so try it without the blocks unless it was, impossible even on the medium side, which all of you were able to do. So I'm looking at you all. Okay, that's it, Tony. Now get the foot between the blocks, hover for like a second, hover for a second, and then swing I think it helps to swing the leg up. Get movement. Movement is good for the hips for lubrication. Yes. Aim well, one side is different. Good, Gail. Good, Andrea, and go back. If you want to try it another time, good, Tony. Aim well, it's all for your abdomen, and then rest on your back with knees into chest. Good, okay. All right, we'll take one step further because I was able to see everyone in galley and it looks like we can try this. We might as well. All right, so should I show this from the front or from the back? Okay, I think from the side. All right, so just rest. You can lie again, rest in child's pose for your back or rest in Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, or simply rest in Akunchanasana, 2 legs. All right, so one last thing that we'll try, one last thing. Well, actually, yeah, just one. There's another place I want to go, but I'll wait till Friday. So hopefully you can see this. Just better show it this way. So I'm going to go back to a dog pose. Hold on. And I call these the runners. Gail, you'll remember this from core. So I'm going back to my lunge position, but now my foot is on the floor. Then I sense my abdomen is lifting away from the floor and I swing the legs, right? And I swing the legs, all right? So see how you do with this. Have the blocks on the medium side with the thumbs hooked around. It's easier to do it that way. It's easier also on the wrists. So you'll aim to get the right leg to a lunge position and then go swing back to and fro, swing, swing, swing. Sense that you're moving the source of the leg swinging when you're ready, Nancy, good. So let the source, this is a good instruction. Let the source of the movement be your abdomen. These look good. Now, don't overthink this. Go back, swing, swing, swing. And since you all know to Virabhadrasana 1, once you get on your 2 feet, come up into Virabhadrasana 1, which is asking a lot. Swing, swing, swing. Aim the right foot forward, Virabhadrasana 1. Go back to holding the brick, swing, swing, swing. Aim the left leg forward, Virabhadrasana 1. And that's all we're doing. Okay, now come back and you'll appreciate this, Upavishta Konasana. Just sit. The abdominal work is rather rewarding. It's grunt work, but it has a good feel. You know, you've done it. You know, be happy that you've done it. Now you can just relax a bit. All right, we're still staying with the same theme of turning. Be on the median line of your legs. Raise the arms up. All right, now watch for a moment. I'm going to turn. So this is Upavishta Konasana with arms up. I'm going to come into Parshva Upavishta Konasana first stage. But when I turn, this is what always happens to people. They take their arms up and they drop their head and then they turn. So I want you to lift the arms up and sense that your right hand is turning your waist. So you have to turn the waist, the ribs, and then the chest, and then you'll end up with the left hand on the corner of your right knee and turn. Notice how the chest isn't forward. The chest is upright, okay? Let me just show this from the side. Arms up. So you don't, when you start the pose, don't duck the head. Turn from the left side of your waist to the right, okay? So now Parshva Upavishta Konasana to the right. Turn left waist, good. Which is what we've done all morning, good. Chest is upright. Shoulders are over the hips, not behind the hips. Now, as you're turning from the left to the right, just glance at your left foot and see that the left foot is still upright. It hasn't lost its position. Remember, you have to draw the skin back of both legs from the knees to the hips. Now take the arms up without dropping the chest, without dropping the head. Aim the right hand to the left outer knee, but initiate that movement from the right side of your waist. So it's the waist that turns first. Now take a glance out of your right eye and look at your foot. See that the right foot is perpendicular to the floor. Keep lifting up. So you can use the back of your right hand pressing against your knee. Okay, and repeat, arms up. Initiate the turn from the left side of the waist and go. Look at your left foot, see it's perpendicular. Keep sealing the legs to the floor. Take the arms up, reach up, but seal the legs down. Turn from the right side of the body. Aim the right hand to the outer left hip. Okay, now come back to center. Have a blanket or bolster. We're doing Marichiasan 1. Take a blanket like so. Everyone, some of you might need 2 blankets. So we're doing Marichiasan 1 and 3, in which the spine is more convex, especially in 3. So for some of, well, I'll get there. If you feel you're doing this, watch. I'll show in profile. So I'm just going to show you Marichiasan 1. So Marichiasan 1, turn to the right typically first. You'll bend the left leg and then you're going to turn. All right. Now, you know you need more height. You see, if the spine collapses down onto itself. So remember what we did at the beginning of the class where the spine was a roll, kick the dorsal spine in. Close the space between your left arm and your right inner thigh and turn. Not like this. Kick the dorsal in, go up. You'll have to lift your abdomen up. All right. So let's try this. I'll show this frontally. Start in Dandasana. Have the feet apart, seal the legs to the floor. Okay, and because we always go to the right first, in this case, hold your left shin, bring the heel right into the buttock. All right, hug the leg. So you begin to, from the get-go, get the merging of the chest with the leg. Then it's same arm, same leg. Left leg is bent. Raise the left arm up, lean in, and go on the inside of your right leg, left leg. Now, extend the right leg a little bit to that decentralized position, right hand coming behind to your left buttock bone, and turn. Fill in the space. Press the arm into the knee into the arm, and turn from the left to the right. Remember that sandwich that we spoke of. It's beginning to flatten out. Now find out as you're turning to the right, is your spine becoming more and more convex? Have the memory at the very beginning of the class of the spinal roll and kick the dorsal spine in. That's good, Nancy. When you kick the dorsal spine in, the abdomen has to lift. Good. Come back to center. All right, extend the legs out. All right, this time, of course, bend the other leg, right leg, but start from the get-go with a decentralized left leg, right arm up, close in the space between right arm and inner right thigh, and now turn from the right to the left. Turn, arm into knee, knee into the arm. Don't let the spine become convex. So the right side of your back should not like form a hunchback. Kick it in, kick the dorsal in, keep moving the trapezius to the waist. Okay, come back to center, well done. All right, now it gets a little bit harder with Marichiasan 3. That was Marichiasan 1. So we still go to the right, only this time we watch this. So you bend the right leg with Marichiasan 3, you'll decentralize the left. Then it's opposite arm to opposite leg. So think about what we did. We did opposite leg, opposite arm in Ekapada Jetra. So now you can expect, and I hope that this is, I hope some of you are saying, having an aha moment. Oh, I remember when we did Supta Padangushasan 3, and she said we were making the sandwich become a panini, right? So now the abdomen really becomes very flat against the back as you turn from the left to the right. But then again, see how the back is really wants to be convex in Marichiasan 3. So I have to kick it in even more. And then watch, I'll use the cranking power of bringing the leg back on the median line to turn. All right, this is a complicated pose. I'm going to show in profile. Just extend your legs to Dandasana. Bend the right leg. Decentralize the left. Hold the shin to get that. So this you can see, it's all this a Kunchanasana action. We did it supine. Now you're doing it seated. All right, stand up on your right foot. Lift the abdomen. Kick the dorsal in. Raise the left arm up. Now cross the left arm to the outer right knee, close in the gap. So you see how now the abdomen has to move back toward the spine. It becomes from the sandwich to the panini. Don't let the upper back round. It will want to. Kick the dorsal in, lift the abdomen up, but keep moving the trapezius down and turn. Now to turn even more from the left to the right, bring the left leg back on the median line. It's like a cranking device and use it to turn even more, left to right. Turn. Come back to center and change sides. So it's interesting because If you get a lot of turning in that one, which demands more turning, then it's clearly Mauritius 1 is much wider than the abdomen than this one. It should feel now as you go to the left side, like your abdomen has really squeezed back. So if you've done a really good Mauritius 3 from an organic point of view, it feels like the organs have been like wrung out, right? Even from that one side on the right and in that short amount of time. All right, so let's do the other side. Start in Dandasana with the spine. Bend your left leg, hug in. Think of a Kunchanasana supine. Now, opposite arm, opposite leg. Think of Supta Padang Kushasana 3. Aim well, close in the gap. Remember, you have decentralized the right leg just because you can turn more, right? But we are going to bring it back on the median line. Now, kick the dorsal in. It wants to go back. Kick it in, and now bring the right leg back and use to turn even more to the left. Turn, turn, turn. It's not an easy pose. And of course, if you had a big meal, it would feel not good. All right, now come back to center and aerate out your groins, literally aerate out everything. Go flat, begin where we began on your back in Supta Baddha Konasana. So in spring, we often do more twists than any other time of season. They're heating poses. You can feel that. So abdominal poses. Just rest. And we will come up and do. So one of the things you probably noticed in this class is we really took the spine in all directions. Even backward in Mauritius 3, because you had to kick the dorsal spine in. Now, for those of you who want to stay in Supta Baddha Konasana, can do. Others of you might find that now you can come forward into Upavishta Konasana. If that's a possibility for you, come forward into Upavishta Konasana. If you've had enough, just lie on your back. So Upavishta Konasana, coming forward, holding the sides of the feet. Remember your whole spine coming forward. So now the abdomen, right at the navel band, has to come forward as well. So don't let it draw back like that. You're moving the sides of your abdomen with your spine. Spine and the organic contents of the abdomen all come forward. And then everyone, you can take a chair. So when the internet failed on Friday, as we were about to do Shavasana, I had wanted to take you through this Shavasana on your back with the bolster on the tall side. So we've done this many, many times. So the knees are slightly forward of the hips. So unlike what we did at the very beginning of the class, where the knees were aligned with the hips and the feet were pressing into the wall, the knees are slightly forward of my hips, and I'm putting the bolster on the tall side. If you need to get a blanket to be warm, on the tall side, so it encompasses the roots of the thighs, then you're using your hands in the pronated position to press the roots of the thighs back and elongate and spread the lower spine. And then once you've cultivated that traction-like event in your lower spine, you can take the arms out to the side. Okay? So we're using this traction Shavasana for the lower spine today. Again, if you need to empty your bladder or get what you need for close the warmth or shut the lights, then please take what you need. So the bolster on the tall side, two things. It helps you traction away, but even that little bit of base of the bolster is pressing into your abdomen, and that should feel like going to have a little bit of a massage-like effect on your abdomen. Just rest. Have the arms out to the side. Those of you who have an eye pillow, you're wearing glasses, take them off. Elongate your neck. Relax your throat. If you feel it's not comfortable, then feel free to take a different Shavasana. Some of you might feel you want to do a prone Shavasana after abdominal work. That could be good as well. And just again, allow your body to descend into the earth. Again, you can flush out the brain. It's not like we can make thoughts go away. That's not the intention here, nor the intention of meditation. If there are thoughts, there are thoughts. You can note the thoughts as to what they are, planning, remembering. But we're not getting caught up in that train of thoughts, where if you were to come out of the pose in 5 minutes, all you would remember is that train of thoughts. That's not what this is. So it's helpful for you to mentally note in and out with the breath, or feel the part of your body in contact with the floor. That's fine. Allow yourself to trust your own body as it descends, as it spreads, as it enjoys relaxation. Stay connected to your own dignity and nobility. See if you can trust your own steadiness as you surrender to the earth below. Let this Shavasana be a practice of mutuality between you and the earth. If at any point in time you want to change to a different posture, even sitting upright, that's fine. Think of this time to relax as your superpower. anyone wants to come into a child's pose with their chest on a bolster, that's fine. Or the child's pose that we did earlier in the class where our thighs were in contact with the chest. Also very helpful to quiet the brain, to ease the abdomen and the lower spine. So in a moment, as you take a seated posture and sit upright, just again, become quiet, but continue to lift your chest away from the floor. And then I will end the recording. And if you have any questions, be happy to stay.